Hey, everybody, welcome on in to Tuesday night. Thank you guys for joining in here on Northwoods CCG. Hopefully you guys have had a fantastic week so far. I know we're just getting into the beginning of the week, but I do like to put it out there anyways. Thank you guys, everybody, for joining us. Once again, fall's in the air, so I've got my hoodie on. We're relaxing here, and we're going to be doing a little bit of a rant on what's happening in the Pokemon market. Now, if you haven't noticed, at this point in time, it's very hard to find a Pokemon booster box that has been profitable in the last week, minimum, if not some of them for a month. Some have been stagnant, some have been flat, just absolute stagnant, flat, not moving. We've had some of them that have gone down. There have not been very many that have gone up at this point in time. Now, Natural Course says that, Mega Evolution should do that, considering it's only a few weeks old. We're coming into the holiday season. And I think that, once again, we talked about it last week. I don't think we're in a crash. Now, don't get me wrong. I was using it as the word of the day, which is crash, because everybody likes to use that kind of terminology when they're talking about the Pokemon TCG and make it sound more, more exciting so that they can sell views. But the general consensus is that the market is starting to get a little bit stagnated. And we knew it was going to happen. It's only a matter of time. When you have these increased growth and this continuous up and up and up, I mean, eventually something's going to get to a point where either A, people don't have the money to continue to spend on these products. And number two, there's going to be too much going on in the market where people just don't know where to spend their money any longer. Or number three, people are going to start holding money and preparing for things to shift. And I think there's a couple things happening right now going on in the market. I think number one, we got holiday season coming up. So keep that in mind. A lot of people, even myself, are starting to stockpile money for the holiday season. We have the Charizard X box, our UPC coming. We have Phantasmal Flames coming here in November as well, along with the Moltres UPC. We've got a lot of products coming up here in early or late November. And then, of course, we also get holiday specials. GameStop will typically do a holiday special. Someone told me Walmart is not. But I find it hard to believe. I think that we'll be seeing something done by MJ Holding. It will be at Walmart. It'll be at Target. It'll be at one of the stores. For all I know, they might move it over to Sam's Club or Costco, where they seem to be putting a lot of these holiday specials right now. So all of these things are definitely in the works, and it's just a matter of time before they start hitting as well. There's just a lot of things happening right now, and I think people need to just take a moment to realize that when it comes down to the market. I hear some people... I'm getting messages, DMs, people asking if they should sell things. It's become a very common occurrence now in my DMs. People asking, is it time to sell this? Should I sell this product? Should I, wait and hold this product? What should I do with these products? And my biggest thing is that number one, it depends on the buy point. Of course, if you bought in right now, you bought Destin's Rivals at $400 and right now it's $391. Obviously, it's probably not a good time to sell. You're probably going to be stuck holding on to that product a lot longer. If you were buying stuff way over MSRP, so that Charizard X, and you bought it at $380 when it was originally listed on TCG Player because you were hyping and FOMOing over it, thinking that you weren't going to get an opportunity to have it at other places. There's 3 million. Did I lose my encoder? Are you guys still there? That's a new one. Check and see. Connecting. Connect your encoder to go live. That was weird. I think I'm back. That was kind of... I don't know if it disappeared on your end, but it disappeared on my end. So, I think it's all fixed. I think we're back. Seeing some smiley faces, so we must be back. I don't know if it jumped off. Yes, you were gone, going in and out. Yeah. I don't know. On YouTube, my encoder disappeared, so I was just a little bit confused on that. This new YouTube, since they did this update, has been very glitchy sometimes. Like, even on the lives, it likes to glitch out a little bit. So, once again, though, I just want to get back on the train of thought, which is the fact is that the markets themselves right now, we're having some things. If you bought in early and you've been holding stuff since Sword and Shield in early Scarlet and Violet when you were buying it under $100 a booster box, under $150 a booster box, is now a good time to get out of that. It might be. I mean, it might be a good time to start looking at liquidating some of that. Realistically, I think the market might stagnate a little bit. Now, this is just what I'm seeing right now. Once again, we talked about it last week. We've got some buyers fatigue. We've got sellers fatigue. We've got a lot of fatigue going in the market. When you're going, just day after day after day of continuous gains, up and up and up and up, and growth and growth and growth and growth, there's always in the back of your mind that something's going to shift, which is going to change this market and put you in a different position. And that creates fatigue mentally. Mentally, you're always worried that when you wake up tomorrow, is the market going to change? Is it going to be worse for me? is it going to cause some problems for me financially if I continue to go down this path? And the number one thing I'm going to tell you is if you have concerns that it's going to hurt you financially, get out. You shouldn't have been in to begin with, but get out. If you're concerned that, you're going to lose value, it just depends on how much you think it's going to lose in value. Do I think this market's going to correct and really drop down like 50% of the value of this market? No, I don't think that it's going to do that. I think we're going to see some gradual stagnation in some areas, some gradual drops in others. Evolving Skies booster boxes, the gold standard right now for booster box performance has dropped for the first time in probably 2 years. That kind of tells you right there that there is starting to get some problems, or not problems, but some fatigue in this market. People aren't willing to spend that high dollar amount. And it's the same thing with all the booster boxes across the board. They've either A, flatlined for the last month, or B, they've gone down in value. Destin's Rivals has dropped. Journey Together has dropped. Surging Sparks has dropped. You go to Twilight Masquerade, it has dropped. You go to Obsidian Flames, it has stagnated. You go to Paldea Evolved, it has dropped. Base set has stayed stagnant. We go to Silver Tempest, it has been stagnant. I mean, nothing's really moving right now in the booster box section of the Pokemon TCG. Singles, on the other hand, we're seeing some more movement on singles. I'm seeing pricing on singles continuing to go up and pretty consistently. And I think that people are starting to change their focus with the price of the packs, with the price of the booster boxes, with the price of the ETBs, that they're kind of shifting gears, and I think that they're starting to just target those singles. So if you have those chase singles, those illustrator rares, those sought after cards right now, and you've been holding on to several of them, hundreds of them, whatever you've been doing for a long period in time, I think people are starting to focus on those, just because rather than the chase, they still want the cards, but they're not buying the packs, they're not buying the booster boxes, and it's causing that stagnation right now to occur right now with what's going on in the Pokemon TCG. So overall, the roller coaster is going to continue. The other factor is one more thing I'm going to put out there as well is that we have Phantasmal Flames coming as well. I've already said that, but I really do want to emphasize that because a lot of people are starting to stack up money for Phantasmal Flames. You got a Charizard set. I think a lot of people, once again, don't know how heavy it's going to be printed, what the pull rates are going to be. All of these things are kind of up in the air at this point in time. And until they really know how this is going to lay out with Phantasmal Flames, they're stocking money and they're starting to get ready to put money into that. And I'm seeing also Piker Mike just put on here the Prismatic Umbreon is down $250. And there's two reasons for that. And I'm going to put out my two reasons on why that's occurring right now, why that particular single and a lot of Prismatic singles are dropping. And the reason I'm going to tell you why that's happening is because of the amount of print. We have a lot of singles hitting this market for Prismatic Evolutions, probably more than any other set right now at this point in time. And the reason being is because overall, it's gone through Costco. It's gone through Sam's Club. We continually get poster collections. We continually get 6-pack booster bundles. We're just listed again today. This product for Prismatic just keeps coming and coming and coming. And when it keeps coming and coming and coming, that means the singles keep going up and up and up and up. And they're saturating the market. They're saturating the singles market on Prismatic Evolutions at this point in time. That's something that I brought that up when we started seeing all those reprints, that we might see a point where we see these singles in Prismatic drop just because of the amount of product that has hit the floor. And it has been a ton. Compared to any set right now in the Pokemon TCG, Prismatic has been by far blown out of the water with the amount of product that we have gotten. And I think that that's starting to show inside of those singles as well at this point in time. So yes, I have seen that Prismatic is one of the rare or the oddballs that's going down in price, but there's a reason for that. It's not necessarily because the people aren't buying it. It's because of the fact that the saturation and there's an overage of cards right now in Prismatic that's causing that pull down on that. And I still think it's overpriced at this point in time. I think we got time. We're going to see more of that value come down on those cards. Overall, the chase isn't there. The people just don't care about it as much. Everybody wants it to be Evolving Skies 2.0. They've tried to bury that in your minds that this is the equivalent to Evolving Skies. So buy Evolving Skies 2.0 because it's more money, more money, more money. I don't think the card is good. I don't think the art's is good. I don't think the overall sets is good. I don't think that it's going to hold up as well as people are hoping, just because of the fact that not very many people have been involved. Not very many people have had an opportunity to open it and enjoy that set. And when that occurs, and the hit rates are atrocious. So overall, futuristically, I think that that's going to be a problem futuristically on the whole prismatic experience. And I think that that may be a detriment to the overall investment. I could be wrong. I mean, I'm never going to claim to be 100% right, but in general, if you've looked at my track history, my gut feeling and the way that I perceive things and the way that I kind of show them to you guys to try and tell you why I perceive things that way tend to lay out fairly well. Not 100%. No one's 100% accurate no matter what you do. When you're looking at data, you're looking at how sets are perceived. You look at the amount of people opening the sets. You look at the cards that people want in the sets and are really chasing in that set. And you can kind of get a feel for futuristically why somebody may honestly want to open that particular set in the future. And it's very difficult, right? Everybody loves base set, because why does everybody like WotC first edition base set cards? Well, because we all got to open it as kids, so we all want to open it again. Jungle, the same way. Why is it expensive? Because we all want to open it again, and there's a market saturation that's not there. There's a shortage, and there's an amount of supply that's not infinite. It's disappearing. It's going down. And on top of it, we have people my age that enjoy opening those packs. So we are still drawn to try and chase a holo out of a, fossil pack or a base set pack and that kind of thing. So there's that nostalgia factor that you create in this Pokemon TCG that really does draw people into it futuristically as well. And you don't have to just look at us, because the problem is that you get caught in this mindset that, yes, I'm going to have money, in more money probably in 30 years down the road. Most of the people that are watching this channel at this point in time are going to probably have more money. Not 100%. Again, you can't tell how everybody's finances are going to go. But in general, as you age, you get more money. As your kids move out of the house, you get more money. As you progress in your job and get more experience, you make more money. As time goes on, your income increases. Granted, inflation and stuff will decrease that as well. So there's always that back and forth tumble. But in the normal scheme of life, millennials might get screwed. I can say it bluntly. We've been absolutely bent over the table with no KY our whole lives. So I don't know why. I think that may change. But in general, I have gotten more money as I get older. It's a more expendable money as I get older because of the way that I position myself. And I hope you guys are doing the same. But the fact of the matter is that when we age out, the next generation has to want to buy this stuff, right? And even when we get older, a percentage of us are just going to keep shading off and falling off as we keep going. In 10 years, how many of us are still going to be sitting here saying that we're investing and buying in the Pokemon TCG? Are some of us just going to get to the point where we're maxed out our investments? We got all the Sword and Shield, the Scarlet and Violet, and Gen 10 that we could ever want. I've got a warehouse full of it. I can't take anymore. I'm done. This is good. I'm going to sit on this for the next 20 years and see how it goes. And that's another situation. People are going to start tapping out. People are going to start filling up their rooms and spaces and not be able to do as much. People aren't going to want to put any more capital into this and want to move on to other regular investments such as crypto or move into real estate. Maybe they want to go buy multiple properties and start renting out properties. These are all things that are situations that will change as we move on. And you're counting on the next generation. So my kids' age, those 20, the 10 to 25 year olds right now, to catch the bug and want to do this in 15 or 20 years. That's how you're going to make money. How many kids right now, my son's age, 10 years old to 20 years old, are opening hundreds of packs of Prismatic Evolutions? How many of them are buying multiple ETPs, sitting in the playground and opening tons of those? Not very many, right? They got an opportunity in Sword and Shield. My son loves a lot of Sword and Shield sets, which is where I think futuristically Sword and Shield's going to do really well, is because my son enjoys Lost Origin. He loves Evolving Skies. He loves Brilliant Stars. He loves Vivid Voltage. He loves those sets because of the fact that those sets were expensive. They came down in price. He got an opportunity to enjoy them. He got an opportunity to do the chases. He got an opportunity to get involved. And the same thing with my daughter and my other son. They've gotten these opportunities and this exposure to get in and actually be exposed to that, which it grows the collecting part of their aspect futuristically. It's a building step. They have to have exposure to it. We're not going to be able to sustain this market forever. people in their 30s and 40s are not going to be able to sustain this market forever, because we're going to start peeling off. We're going to start going, okay, unless you're really, really dedicated into investing to the point where you're going to start keep doing like kind of what I'm doing right now, is sell into booms and buy in the busts and keep doing that, where you're cycling your product over and over and over again. A lot of people that I've talked to and been on these channels, and I know that I've seen in comments, they're not doing that. Their thought process is not to sit there and buy and recycle, buy and recycle. Their thought process is to buy and hold, or buy and quick flip, buy and quick flip. There's not a lot of people that are running out with like Sword and Shield product right now and thinking about selling that Sword and Shield product to be ready to prepare to buy the next group during the next drop. A lot of people right now are saying, I love my Sword and Shield, it's very expensive, so I'm going to continue to hold it for 10, 15 years and use it as a retirement investment at this point in time. That's the factors that we continue to see. And there's kind of different variations of groups. And the amount of people that are going to be in their 30s and 40s right now that are going to continue to cycle that product is really what's going another factor. Not everybody's going to do that. Not everybody's going to keep cycling product to try and make more money, right? They're not looking at the investment side as 5-year investment, 3 to 5 year investment. Most of them are looking at 10-year or short. They're under a year, or they're about 10 years in their mindset. That's what I seem to see a lot of. There's a group of us that, like we talk on this channel, like we buy in the low markets and we sell into the high markets, and we continually rotate that stock, rotate that money, and keep things moving, because we see the potential of this one's getting kind of hot top heavy. It's going to be slow moving. I'm not going to see the percentage gains. I could take that, sell one of these booster boxes, buy 3 of these, and have those 3 do the exact same thing in 3 to 4 years. And I can do the exact same thing and then take those 3 and buy 3 with each one of those. And now I've got 9, and then I got 9, and I'm going to go up to 27. You're going to continually keep every 3 to 5 years rotating that stock and continually moving that and doing that. Not as many people are going to do that as either. People are going to start falling off of that trend. They're going to start holding what they've got, and they're going to continue to move forward with what they have. They're going to be happy with it. That's just how people operate when it comes down to their mental state in any kind of investment hobby. You do that in the stock market too. I've done it in the stock market. You know, at first you're using these stocks to build your equity, start building those investment portfolios, start growing. And honestly, once you get to a point, you just stop. You find the ones that you're comfortable with that are doing well, that continue to beat, inflation and market expectations, and you just sit in them. And I've been in some of those for now 10 to 15 years and not touched them just because they've done so well. So even I've done it in the, traditional investment sense on my 401ks and stuff. And that's how people get. They get complacent, they stop chasing, and they stop watching. They just find what's comfortable, and they're going to let comfortable do what comfortable does. And that's where we could get to where we need the new generation now to start stepping up. But the new generation isn't getting into certain sets. They aren't getting that opportunity right now. Kids are getting, my kid's been pulling Brilliant Stars now, or Destin's Rivals, because they've had an opportunity to buy the, at least the blisters have been showing up at Walmart, and you've been able to buy those at Walmart pretty much consistently every week at this point in time. They seem to be getting a couple boxes of them. So my kids get to open it and they have some fun. Mega Evolutions, there's been another good dousing of sleeve blisters as well. We've opened some out of my stock now. I'm a little bit more comfortable to do that again because I was getting way down, and now I'm getting a little bit of a surge of product as well on Northwoods TCG, which is good because it gives me an opportunity to give some out to the kids as well and take advantage of that point also. So there's some things happening where there is getting to be a little bit more opportunity. Mega Evolutions definitely caused that a little bit. I think getting into a new type of base set has kind of shifted people with a Charizard chase looming in the background is definitely a big factor to the overall progression right now in the Pokemon TCG. So let's get through the holiday season. We'll see how things continue to move and keep going out when it comes down to the overall hobby. I think that we're going to still consider to see this kind of slow. I'm not going to call it a crash. It's really not going to crash, I don't feel, unless Pokemon all of a sudden comes out and starts just absolutely meleeing the product out there like we saw in Sword and Shield. If we see like late 2021 Sword and Shield, yes, we could see a drop right now. This is where you're priming up to potentially have a drop, and what Pokemon International does at this point in time could facilitate that. Either A, we're going to stagnate, it's going to kind of sit here for a month or two, we're going to get through the holiday seasons, we're going to get into Phantasmal Flames, it does great, and all of a sudden things start moving again, or we're going to get past the next holiday set, and it's going to go great, and everybody's going to be happy and things are going to get moving again, this is what we might be seeing, and this is where we're going to see the opportunities in the Pokemon TCG futuristically. And it's going to tell us how overall this market's going to perform futuristically. Are we going to stay flatline, baseline? Are we going to go baseline all the way into the 30th anniversary at this point in time? It could happen. I mean, I'm not saying it's likely, but it definitely could happen where we could see little stagnation. Maybe next month it goes down a little bit. Following month it goes up a little bit past that flat line, but it could potentially do that depending on what occurs in the Pokemon TCG. Phantasmal Flames is really going to be the big teller at this point in time. I'm really curious to see what the hit rates are of Phantasmal Flames. How hard is it to get that Charizard or Mega Charizard EX, that SIR, out of that set is really going to be a tale for how well this set, how the Pokemon itself might proceed after that. If it's easy, if it's Obsidian Flames, I could see the market having some really tough times. We really do at this point in time. If we want to see the market continue to boom and bull market out of here, we need to see a pull rate where that Charizard is actually around $500 to $600 for a while coming out the gates. If we see Obsidian Flame Charizard where it drops under $100 because the pull rate is like once every 2 booster boxes or once every 3 or 4 booster bundles, that's where we're going to be seeing. That's where you're going to be seeing the market really struggling at that point in time, and where we could see some very big bear market coming forward off of that. So next set, guys, I'm telling you, you're going to have to be watching that a little bit for what was going to happen here in Pokemon TCG. In a way, I hope that they print a ton of those cards. I would love to have one myself. I don't want to sit there and spend a ton of money for the chase on that particular card. But number 2, I think it would be good for the hobby to maybe have an opportunity to get some product back on the shelf. Back the people off. Get rid of the scalpers, start breaking the flippers, break them all off, start breaking their legs and getting them out of here so that this hobby can finally start to breathe a little bit and get that product out to individuals that are really looking for it out in the wild. I mean, I want to see it in a Walmart shelf. I want to see Mega Evolutions and Phantasmal Flames actually sit on the shelf for more than 20 minutes at our local Walmarts and at our stores. That'd be fantastic for the future of this hobby to be able to see that. So, yes, I think that right now we are in kind of a roller coaster. What happens with Phantasmal Flames, I think, is going to be the linchpin to, if Phantasmal Flames is a mid set would be okay as well. Mid to high tier set is definitely looking for, if you want this boom bear market boom bull market to continue at this point in time. But if it's a low tier set, really easy hit rates, really slouching. I mean, if that Gengar was in there, then I wouldn't have any doubt. But them removing that Gengar out of that set definitely puts a different aspect to how a set's going to perform and what's going to happen. I agree. I understand why they did it. Having Gengar and Charizard in the same set is actually crazy to think of. If it would have happened, it would have been absolutely huge. But yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this all overall is going to perform. And Phantasmal Flames, I think at this point in time, is going to be the linchpin for the actual market. I think that that's going to tell us how Mega is going to be perceived. I think that that's going to tell us how the next year is going to run. And I also think that that's going to tell us if the market, what the market's going to do, depending on how well that set performs. So there's my rant for the day. There's my market talk, talking about what's happening right now. Booster boxes all are down. It's the first time in about a year that I've actually seen my portfolio go down, which is okay. I mean, there's huge gains in there. It's not like I'm going to sweat it at all at this point in time. There's plenty of made plenty of income this year, potential income. I don't want to say income. It's unrealized until you sell it. So a lot of people don't understand that either, is that it's unrealized until you sell that. So yes, right now, you've seen my charts. I'm got $100,000 almost in profit, $120,000 in potential, but that's unrealized. I have to still sell it at this point in time. I'm going to lose 13% for that. It's unrealized. So if I don't get those prices for it, it's going to be a problem. And all these things are definitely there. So yes, it looks like 120,000. It's like being a billionaire on paper. I feel like Elon Musk. I have billions of dollars, but honestly, I don't have any cash value to it. It's just a bunch of cardboard on the side. It's not realized. There is no cash value yet. Yes, it's got some trading value to it, but overall, there's no liquidity to it until you sell it and get it back into a cash form. So, yeah, looks like a lot of money. Really not a lot of money yet. It's still just it's monopoly money. As my brother would say, it's funny money until you sell it. But all right, guys, so that's going to be our rant. If you guys want to talk more about that, I'm going to quick go through the chat here, and I always try, if you do join in, I try to get through everybody's chat. So if you guys do have anything that you want to put in there, make sure you do it and get it up in the chats. Adaro, thank you so much for dropping in, and how you doing? James from Alamo City, thank you so much for being in here. Eric, thank you so much for joining us as well. Concept 34, thank you so much. Horizon's in here as well. Piker Mike, thank you. Stoner Cat, welcome on in. We got Jacob, thank you so much, and Roxy Broxy being in here also. We're going down, making sure I didn't miss anybody. Roy, thank you so much, Roy, for jumping in. One of our channel members. Thank you so much for being in here as well. Going down here, going down. Where are we at? Making sure I got everybody, and we got Jansen. Thank you so much for dropping in as well. And I just saw Jacob put up here, people flexing their collector's app like it's a bank account. Yeah, it's not a bank account. It's unrealized cash, my friends. You can sit there. I could show you $120,000 on the screen. It doesn't mean it's $120,000. It just means that hypothetically, if I were to get premium dollar with no fees, I could get $120,000. I'm losing 13% off of that before I even sell the darn stuff. So, I mean, you're going to lose 7 to 13% off of that. Plus, then you got shipping fees. Plus, it's not 120. It looks great. Don't get me wrong. It looks great. For an overall investment, it looks great. But it's definitely unrealized at this point in time. It's not like stock market where I can just go or crypto, and I can go on my phone right now and I can go, oh yeah, I need $75,000 today. Swipe my phone, hit sell, and I'm going to have, tomorrow morning, I'm going to have $75,000 of free cash. That's not how it's going to work. I mean, that's not how it works in Pokemon. It takes more time. It's not instantaneous. I know Nostalgianomics did a video going, oh, it's not instantaneous is your complaint, but you can still do it quick. Quick is not quick enough sometimes. If I need money now, I don't have a week for me to sell it. And one thing that people don't talk about is when you sell things the first time on a lot of vendors, so TikTok, eBay, all these, they hold your money sometimes for 15 to 20 days to make sure that individual, your first few sales, especially if you haven't built sales up to this point, which a lot of people don't, if you haven't built sales to this point in time and you go and you try and sell something on eBay, they will hold your money for 15 to 30 days. Depending on how they feel, your credit, all that other stuff, and who you are. So just keep that in mind as well, that if it's the first time you're selling, you're 15 to 30 days out from a paycheck on most websites. That's not all, but that's a lot of them. Don't have instant payouts. So like even TikTok, if you started on TikTok, went and sold something on TikTok, you have to build rapport in order to be able to get into what they call instant payouts. So I get instant payouts on most of my accounts just because I've had so many sales and have been high rated, and I don't have all those issues, and I don't have people coming against me saying that I'm lying and cheating them and all that kind of stuff. If you get to a point, even TCG player, I mean, there's a waiting period to get that money. They be sure they get the cards. Once they get the cards, then they distribute the money. Or if you're not doing shipping on it where they can't track it, then they do hold the money for 30 days unless you've been there for a long period of time. Private sale is the only way that you're going to get away from that, but $120,000 in private sales, especially where I live, not an easy task. That would take a long period of time, even locally, to do that. All right. Just going down the thing here real quick. Yes, you are going in and out. Yeah, so I got the glitch thing figured out. So that did happen. I don't know what that was. It's like it was still working here, but shut down here. So, Horizon. I have a small but diverse portfolio of Pokemon, primarily Sword and Shield. And I noticed saturation dips button. But now it's moving up past all the high times again. Well, none of mine are, Horizon. Maybe singles, but right now booster boxes and ETBs are not. They've actually either stagnated or gone down. I mean, you can see that right by my portfolio that I shared. I mean, it's going down a little bit. It went down and it's just continued. I don't think right now that there's a Sword and Shield booster box that has gone up in value at this point in time. Even Evolving Skies, which is a primarily... So just keep in mind, I have 30 boxes of Evolving Skies. That's a big, big chunk of my portfolio, too. That $120,000 is really a majority of it. Over 50% of it is, not quite, about 50%. About 50% of that is strictly Evolving Skies. So just keep that in mind, that portfolio looks huge, but it's all, half of it's all in one product. And that's just where we are with that particular product. But even that's come down in price here. So not any, most of the apps I've been looking at, I look TCG Player, Pokédata, both of them have shown drops. So eBay's dropping as well. Checking the eBay charts here today before I did this, there's not a single booster box or ETB right now that has gone up in value from Sword and Shield on forward. Now, I'm not going back to Sun and Moon, but that's where we are right there on that right now. Explain how you show up for an online drop early, but you are still 300K in. Oh, yeah. Good luck with that one. I'll read that one a little bit later. I thought that was something to do with this conversation. Piker Mike, Prismatic Umbreon down $250. We talked about that and the reasons on why. I think that it's still, I think all those cards are still overvalued at this point in time. Stoner Cat, I still can never find cards at my local stores. It's up to your local stores a lot of times too. Local stores aren't buying as many cards either. I've noticed that. I've seen them come in and they've been very picky on the cards that they're buying at this point in time. I think a lot of people don't want to get, a lot of stores don't want to get stuck with inventory if this market drops. It scares them. When you see, once again, for a store, if you're buying singles and you've seen consistent growth for the last year, it puts a little concern in your side that you're getting to a point where this thing could shift and you could be stuck. So if I went and, for example, that Umbreon, a perfect example of it, you went and bought it for $1,700 from someone, and you say, okay, I'm gonna still pay you, 25%. So if most people are 70 to 80% right now is pretty much the market, or has been for the while. So if you figure $1,700 and they're only going to pay you, 20% of that, or they're going to pay you 80% of that, they're going to pay you $1,400 at this point in time. And they still got fees that they got to try and sell it. But if you figure that and it's lost $250, you've pretty much broke even. So right now you have no profit in that. So if you would have gone off the market of the Umbreon here a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and you still have it because it's a slow moving card, it doesn't sell very fast because it's very expensive, and it dropped now $250. Let's say next week it drops $300. Well, now you're losing money, right? You're backwards, and you can't sell it for the $1,400 you needed to. Now it's going down even further. So you're watching that cash value of that card slump while you paid someone $1,400 for it. So that's why some of these guys, some of these stores, even though there's demand for singles, are being very, very cautious on what they're buying in singles because they don't want to get caught on some of these high chase cards and have that value get sucked out from underneath them, because that is their profit at this point in time. Let's see here. We got going down here, so we got Jacob says Charizard. Broxy, did you get the Pokemon Center drops today? I got 2 of the 3 items. The built-in battle boxes sold out in less than 10 minutes. I got there pretty fast. I did not. I was not even in service. I got all the notifications of it after I got back into service, so I did not get the drops today. So nope, I missed out on that one. So, and it happens. Jacob, Prismatic going to be an all-time most printed vintage set. I mean, probably. Biker Mike, overpriced. Horizon, thoughts on Black Bolt White Flare ETBs? Will they dip below $80 in the secondary market? Seems strong value, but despite somewhat negative sentiment, will Black and White dip to past Crown Zenith lows? Well, Crown Zenith lows, they were sub $50. So I don't think it's going to drop that far unless we see massive... Once again, it's hard to say on these modern sets how low they're going to go because we don't know if they're even going to get reprints at this point in time, or if, because we really haven't seen any major reprints. Now, specialty sets have. So could we see a White Flare Elite Trainer Box reprint? Absolutely, we could. It definitely could happen here in the near future. So I'm pulling them open right now. So right now, White Flare is right at $80. So on TCG Player with shipping, you're going to pay $81. So $81 for a White Flare. Could it drop another couple bucks? Absolutely. It definitely could. Black Bolt. I just want to give you, and these are prices as of October 21st, 2025. Just so anybody comes on later, prices may vary. So just so you guys know, prices may vary if you come in here and you're looking at this 2 years, a year down the road, whenever you're coming in, even a week, this thing may change. So I just like to put that discretion out there for everybody out there. And actually, the Black Bolt's a little bit higher right now because that is currently, that's basically $90. So White Flare right now is $81. So White Flare is definitely right on that edge. And I'm looking to see, So even recently, it's been about 79 bucks plus shipping on most of them. So we're right there. We're right on that cusp of where it could fall under $80 right now. Right now, Horizon. But do I see it dropping all the way down to like $50? No, I don't think it'll go that far unless we start seeing some massive reprints of it where we see massive amount of products all of a sudden hit the shelf. So Black Bolt, I think, is the stronger set. If you look at the set list of Black Bolt, I think that it's the stronger of the two sets. White Flare is okay. Don't get me wrong. I think they're all right. I mean, I never did like Black and White, and to this day, I still don't like Black and White as much. The original set, but I like the artwork of the Zekrom. I think it's a pretty sweet artwork. You got that Seismitoad, which is also helping it as well. But you also have a couple other cards inside of here that are fairly decent artworks, and I think that they're going to do fairly well futuristically. So, got the Seismitoad, that's helping. I mean, you got the Machino, I kind of like that. The Chichino line, yeah, they're a little expensive, but they're really nice artworks. I'm going through right now. Conqueror is pretty cool too on the building. I mean, they've got some pretty good artworks inside of it. Even End's Plan is kind of a cool artwork when it comes down to it. Kirum's a really sweet artwork, very strong contender up there. You got that monochrome Zekrom, which I kind of like the Zekrom better than I like the Reshiram. But these are all preferences at this point in time. I'm giving you my opinion, not based on any scientific data or information. You know, I'm going now and just open up the White Flare. Chandelure is probably one of the ones that I want out of White Flare. The Reshiram is just it's kind of washed out. I wish they could have done a better job on the Reshiram art. It's okay, but kind of washed out when it comes down to, compared to the Zekrom, when it comes down to Black and White. And then you go through the list of the other Pokemon inside of it. I'm trying to see Lampet, Chandelure, Litwick are probably the three cards that I really want out of this set, just to have them, because I like Chandelure. I think it's a cool Pokemon. But other than that, a lot of them are kind of slacking, in the white side of things. So I think the black is probably the stronger set out of the two of them. And I think it's starting to show a little bit when it comes down to the performance of the sets, too. The ETBs are going a little bit more on the black side. I'm looking at all the black pricing right now. So, for example, the monochrome Reshiram is $360. The monochrome Zekrom at this point in time, I believe, was $400 and some dollars. $450, so almost $120 difference just in the monochrome card. The Zekrom EX, just the standard SIR, is $400 or $245 currently in the market. Let me go back to the set real quick because I didn't look at White Flare. I should have. White Flare is only $198, so you're already down about another $50 on that as well. It seems like all the cards are just down on the white side, and I can see it. I can see why. Let's see here. But yeah, going back to the question, do I see him going down to Crown Zenith pricing? I don't think I see him that low. Unless we get massive reprints. But Crown Zenith was printing a lot too, and I don't know if we're going to see that kind of print runs on the on White Bolt or White Flare Black Bolt. Piker Mike, Prizzy is very overrated in my opinion. I agree. Just make $5 or just make ETBs $5. I wish. Paldea Evolved and Destined Rivals are much better sets. I agree. I like Paldea Evolved. I've said that for a long time. I've said that for years. I think Paldea Evolved is one of the stronger sets. I really enjoy the set overall. The presentation of the set's well. The cards in the set are very good. The overall set is strong, and it's also really got some really good artworks in it, and then SIR, IR categories for that particular set. So I think that, plus it's got all the starter, illustrator, rare, or SIR, IRs inside of there, so they have a very good layout of that. Let's see. So we're just working through here. Roy's giving me the emoji package. Thank you so much. Let's see. Jacob says the amount of Sunbreons out there is it's a ton. It's a metric ton of them. So if I go, let me put it in there. Umbreon. Let's just see how many of them are actually on Pokemon or TCG Player right now. So right now, if we go ahead and look, it's hard to believe this card was $1,700, and now in the last year, it's already down to less than a year. They're saying 800. Oh, what's it on? Near. Oh, lightly played. I was gonna say that don't make sense. Near mint. I don't want this lightly played. There we go. $1,200. We're down to $1,200. It was almost up to $1,600, and it's down to $1,200 right now for that card. So we're down $400, and even it spiked again up to. So yeah, it's not as low as it was. I mean, it was down to almost $850 at one point in time, but I still think it's got some time to come back down a little bit. So how many of them are available? I mean, that's the real question. Honestly, there's not as many as I thought there would be on TCG Player. Just going through, are there any multiples? So there's really 3 pages of them, but a lot of them are very high value, like way up there. Now, I'm not looking at eBay either, so eBay might have a lot of them as well. Oh, you're looking at I just saw, hey, Ludwig Pig. No, Paldea Evolved is not bad. I don't think anybody actually thinks that. At least I hope not. It's a really good set. I'm looking to see Ludwig Pig. You must be looking at the actual PSA volume. PSA is probably stupid high. I can pull open a population right now on that card. There's not a huge population. I thought there'd be a lot more 10s. There's only 3,200 10s at this point in time. So population's actually down. CGC, yeah, there's not very many. There's only CGC's got 972 pristine 10s, and PSA has got 3,200 in PSA 10s. I thought it'd be higher than that, to be honest with you. That's a little bit lower than what I was expecting. So, anyways, we're gonna get Ludwig Pig just says apparently a lot of investor bros are buying I think a lot of people are buying everything prismatic right now. They're trying. I think that there's a lot of falsification in this market at this point in time. The amount of Sunbrians out there is mind-boggling. I don't like Prizzy. The investor bros can have that one. I want undervalued plays. None is noticing. None need to find sleeper sets like Fusion Strike was and win. Done following the herd. Yeah, you can't keep following the herd. That's the problem. Oh, you're talking about Evolving Skies. I was going to say, that would make more sense. Evolving Skies, there's a ton of them. There's a ton of Moonbryons. I thought we were talking about Prismatic, so I was on the Prismatic train. Thank you, Ludwig Pig, for clarifying that. Yeah, the Moonbryon is way higher, so since we brought it up, we might as well go look. So we'll go look at the Moonbryon right now. I can tell you how many PSA 10s there are in a Moonbryon. I know it's over. I know it's over 30,000 for sure. Actually, it only says only 19,000. I thought it was higher than that. 19,000 PSA 10s graded. There's a lot. I mean, we got a ton of 9s and a ton of 8s. You got 6,000 9s and you got 1,200 8s. So there's almost 30,000 graded. Plus CGC, so in the CGC 10s right now, there's a total of 5,800 in the CGC 10 as well. So there's quite a few of them in the CGC 10s. What about, BGS is coming soon. I don't have BGS yet. Hopefully I'll have that as well pretty quickly. Sorry, Sunbryon. Yeah, we were talking about Prismatic. Going back to the top of the list here, James from Alamo City. Everyone smash that like button and subscribe if not already. Help Andy's algorithm and the channel. Thanks all for being on the stream. Exactly. Thank you so much, everybody that has joined in. Greatly appreciated. See, we got 22 people watching right now. Just take a moment, step out of the chat, hit that like button. Let's see if we get 20 likes, guys. Help out the stream a little bit. If you hit that like button, it definitely pushes the stream. So it's greatly appreciated. Biker Mike says, poor kids can't afford open packs. No, not very many kids. I even limit my kids down a lot. Except for sometimes on release day, I'll pull some for them. But otherwise, because of the business side, I just don't have the volume anymore to do it. But the pricing is also so high at this point in time also to really not justify opening packs. Market Scraper, welcome on in. Thank you so much for joining us. Jacob says, investors need to think long-term with growing the hobby too. They do. The problem is you're dealing with some investors, but a lot of people, you're dealing with a lot of flippers right now at this point in time too. This market has been very, very healthy for flippers. People with big credit cards or multiple credit cards can definitely take big advantages in this market right now. You have Walmart selling 99 ETBs of Phantasmal Flames to anybody. So those bots just had a field day on Walmart. So basically the bots got all of Phantasmal Flames. You put up 99, allow 99 per order is just absolutely insane on a drop. And that's where they all went. So basically you could buy, if I could have gotten in front of the bots, I literally could have bought what? I get one case. So I could have bought 10 times the amount of product I get from distribution through Walmart of Phantasmal Flames if I wanted to take the risk. So imagine the people. Someone also said that you could order multiple times. So if you hit 99, you could go and do multiple orders, just pay multiple times. So people were getting hundreds of these things through Walmart. So that's absolutely crazy to think that people were able to do that at that point in time. Yeah, 99 order limit is nuts. It's absolutely insane that they would do that for ETBs. Jacob says instead they turn around and insult the fans. Stoner Cat, GameStop needs or never has any cards in stock ever. My GameStop's good if you get there on Saturdays typically because they have their releases on Saturday morning. Prismatic, not a chance, but I've been able to get like Destin's Rivals, a couple packs or a couple stuff or things as well there. I know the new list is out too for drops, so let's take a look here on the 24th. So that's going to be this Saturday. They're going to be doing the Twilight Masquerade booster bundles. So they're going to have Twilight Masquerade booster bundles. Gundam TCG is going to be released on the 24th. And then November is going to be, they say they're going to have Evolving Skies booster boxes for $199. I don't know if we'll be getting that at ours, but apparently GameStop limit 1 per customer. 36 count Evolving Skies booster box. And that's going to be $199.99 at $199.99 at GameStop. And then you have Mega Evolutions booster bundles also dropping that day. So that's going to be not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Mega Evolutions ETBs are going to be dropped as well. You're going to get one Pokemon Evolved booster. So you're going to get the booster packs. There are going to be 5 per person. And then following that, you're going to get some Evolving Skies. Evolving Skies booster bundles. They're going to get Evolving Skies booster bundles again. So there you go. They printed more of that as well. So, yeah, it's going to be absolutely crazy when it comes down to it. So, on what we have coming right now down the pipeline right now at GameStop as well. So make sure if you join the Discord as well, I always try and post that up. I have a person that takes a picture of it, sends it out. So I do put up the list of drops coming at your local GameStop. Sometimes if you ask them, you can get that. But you can also just go ahead and check out our Discord. We do post them up. That way you guys can see what's coming without having to call up or talk to your GameStop person every single week in order to be able to do that. So check out the link for that in the description as well. Let's see, where were we at? Horizon. This is the only chat group I can post in and not get bullied, laughed at, and pushed out by real shame. This is the only Pokemon place I currently don't feel judged. Shamed. Appreciate this channel. Horizon, I don't want anybody judged. Everybody has a point of perspective. Everybody has a perspective to look at things. And I honestly don't even say stuff in chats anymore, because if you say something against the creator, and that's something I've never wanted in here. I've made that clear from day one. I've made that clear through when I've seen other people say things about me in other channels, and my, people I know say things in those chats. Don't. I can defend myself just fine. If I say something, I truly believe it, and I have the evidence to back it up. I don't just say things because I just want to, but I also have the availability to, I have a very thick skin. I work in construction. I've worked in manufacturing. Guys, it takes a lot to get under my skin, and nobody in this chat is ever going to do it. No keyboard warrior is going to get underneath my skin to cause me to lose my cool. It's just not going to happen. There's no point, but I will defend you guys as well. If someone's bullying, I've had bullies in our comments, and they disappear because I don't have time for it. I'm open to good, qualified discussion. If you want to discuss a topic, if you disagree with me, fine. I will absolutely have no problem disagreeing and having a good conversation about it. At the end of the day, I hope we both can say either A, we agree on something, or B, we still disagree, but it was a good discussion and we had a good conversation about it. That's what I want. That's what I want to continue to have on here. And that's what I always try to bring to you guys and make sure you guys have here. So exactly, Horizon, if you want to say something that seems off the wall crazy, I don't want people attacking others for that. I want people to have a good conversation, or let me respond to it, and then you guys can fill in as well if you guys would like to have a good conversation. Look at the positive side of the conversation rather than trying to pick people apart for their conversation, because even if it's the most weirdest thing out there on the world, I still like to look at it, because sometimes those weird things, those weird comments and those weird discussion points end up being right or have some merit that may alter the way you think about something. And it's very, very good. It's sometimes a very good thing to have happen. So just keep that in mind. Just because someone's saying something you don't agree with now doesn't mean that it's not something that might have valid points to it that you should be looking at. We got going down to Jacob here. LGS sends goons to buy up Walmart by me. Yeah, that's becoming a new thing. You can't get it through your distributors, and you can sell it over MSRP. It's very common. A lot of LGSs are going to that because they need product and they can uplift the pricing. MJ Holding won't uplift past where they're at right now, but LGSs are desperate. They can't get product. They can't get Magic the Gathering. Now they got Spider-Man. Spider-Man's the only product they got on the shelf, and it's crap. Nobody wants to buy it. So overall, they're getting kind of desperate. They need some throughput. They need some money. They need products going through. And the next resort is, of course, to just kick over and start going after your Pokemon Center, or go to your local Walmart and pretty much raid the place in order to fill your shelves. Trust me, the thought process my wife and I have had the discussion. It's dumb. I don't want to go there, but it's definitely a discussion that I think a lot of LGS owners, the longer we go without being able to order from our LGSs, especially smaller stores, the more the temptation becomes there. Because let's be 100% honest, if I were to go to the store right now and buy a pack of Mega Evolutions right now for $4.97 at Walmart, I could still sell it online and make quick money and sell it at $7.99 right now on TCG Player, and it would be gone, right? And you could flip that fairly quickly and make some money. Or if you're looking for it in your shell, if you're selling it person to person, you can pick it up at $4.95 right now. Go sell it at your store for $6.50, $6.49 a pack. It's going to sell. People want it. So the opportunity, the money is actually there. And the problem is that they keep giving it to big box stores. They're not giving it to the small LGSs, LCSs. And basically that's getting to be the route that I told you. I said that 3-4 months ago, that this is going to become a thing. Is that more LGSs are going to start sending people out to grab product off the shelf because, hey, distribution won't give it to me. They're giving it to MJ Holding. I'm going to go from MJ Holding, and I'm just going to take it from them, and I'm going to sell it at my markup, and I'm still going to make money at this point in time. And that's just the circle that we are currently in. And until we start getting product from the distribution side of things back into our stores where we can start ordering at least a decent amount of product, this is going to be something that's going to happen more and more. More and more LGSs are going to continue to go to it. So right now, if I were to buy that Mega Evolutions pack at Walmart, right now they're $4.97 at my Walmart. If I were to buy them, I could go on to TCG Player right now and sell them at $8.75 a piece, and do like a lot of people on here. A minimum there is a 10 or more, or we cancel your order. So you'll have to order 10 of them from the online store in order to get them for that price. But yeah, I mean, that's just kind of where we're at right now. Let's see here. Yeah, we already went over the Black Bolt really growing on me. SIR Zekrom still climbing. Yep. Did I miss something? Something jumped here. That's why making relationships and hobby is key to be able to sell. Yes, it's very important. Something jumped here. I'm down somewhere. Oh, here we go. I think I'm up here. Talked about that already. I haven't checked my team up in a while. Team up's up. Team up's doing really well. LGS and Goon. Kids come to my house for Pokemon cards at Halloween. I've got the trick or treat ones. I got bags of them as well. So I'll be giving away Pokemon cards at my house as well. They'll be the trick and treat ones, but yeah, I'll have some out there for them. I do every year. Jacob says, I've already had more luck at my Poke vending machine. Got 151 and prismatic bundles. Very nice. Awesome. Piker Mike says, you guys south of the border don't realize how lucky you are compared to up in Canada. There is zero product up here in stores. We don't have anything in stores either, Piker Mike. The only thing we get in stores is on restock day, and that's if you're the first one there and sometimes willing to get into a fist fight to get it. I have an advantage because stuff comes I get something, it seems like every week from distribution, but I cheat because I'm getting from Southern Hobby and from ACD. So that's a different, I'm getting a little bit, not a lot, but I'm still getting a little bit. Kids come to my, yeah, I already did that. I'm going all in on Phantasmal, especially if it drops below MSRP. Yeah, I agree. I think below MSRP, I think it'd be a great price for Phantasmal. I'm going to wait to see what the hit rates are. So when we do pre-release, I'll be watching to see what the hit rates are. Kind of like Mega. I knew the hit rates were going to be fairly decent for the SIR, and it doesn't seem like it's crazy to hit Illustrated Rares or SIRs. The golds are really the chase inside of there, and I have yet to date pull one of those or see one of those in person. So I lied. I saw one at Collecticon, but I've never seen anybody I know of pull one or have one of those cards yet at this point in time. Botters and scalpers eat all the products here immediately. They somehow know when all the vendors show up and are in line before shelves are even stocked. Online products are going they stock. So that happened here. I actually got a call from our district MJ Holding rep because I was at the store and there's a guy that was following, and basically he put an AirPod. They were putting AirPods on their vendors. So basically their vendors were driving around with AirPods or AirTags on their vehicles. And the woman was there and she said, this guy, I go random, like she was saying, I'm absolutely random on this stuff. And this guy always beats me to the store that I'm going to. Like I can change my route completely different, go a completely different way. And they know exactly where I'm going and they'll beat me to the store and get there before anybody else, and they'll fight and actually start a fist fight in the store because of it. And I told her, I said, because back in 2021, I said, there was a guy putting AirTags on cars and got caught, doing it, and actually got a restraining order and stuff, but they were putting AirTags on the cars, and the cars, then they would track where you were going by the AirTags. And I said, do you have, and she said, well, I have an Android device. I said, well, there's an app you can get for your Android device, or there you can go to, there's a body shop by us that has a thing that can go through it. Well, I talked about this before that was happening, and she found it. There was an AirTag on our vehicle. And so I actually got a call from MJ Holding here about 2 weeks ago, and really, really cool guy. He was district manager, and he said, hey, I want the person, because I ran into her again a week ago, and she said, yeah, they switched us all to, iPods or iPads and all that stuff, because now iPads detect the AirTags on the vehicle and detect GPS devices on the vehicle. So now they turned on that feature on all their pads, and now they're using iProducts because now they can track those iTag, or I keep wanting to say iTags, but AirTags. And so now they've actually tracked it. Out of the 73 reps, 18 of them had AirTags on their vehicles. So yeah, it was something that was very big. And she got my number like 3 weeks ago. And then 2 weeks ago, the district manager actually called and thanked me. I tried getting Pokemon product, and he kind of laughed at me and went, yeah, probably not. But thank you for helping us and getting us some policy changes. I'm like, could at least given me a bone, man. Could have given me a bone. I just saved like your employees' sanity because they are like tracking their homes and stuff with their cars. But no, he did apologize. He did thank me, and it was kind of cool. He kind of I talked to him a little bit about some things in the market and that. But no, I mean, it was a lot of fun. Really, really good conversation overall, and it's now something in the district, in the Midwest district of MJ Holding, that now they've turned everything to iProducts and turned on the devices. So the devices, some of them had it, and they weren't turned on, so they weren't actually scanning for the AirTags. So they've actually turned them all on their iPads. So now they're actually scanning their vehicles for those AirTags, which is, I feel good for them, for their security and their safety to be able to do that. So it's awesome to be able to do that. Yeah, they should have. I agreed. I said that, and he kind of just laughed at me on the phone. I'm like, God darn it. I like saved your employee's sanity. What are we doing? You can't give me like a a few booster packs or like a case of mini tins. Come on, man. He'd probably give me them MJ Holding those junky repacks. Well, here, I'll give you a box of repacks. Here you go. No, thank you. I changed my mind. I really don't need it. After taxes and fees, you might as well say your collecting app is half the amount shown. Everybody wants a cut, the invisible hands. Exactly, Horizon. And that's 100% true. That's what I mean. Just because it says 120 does not mean there's $120,000 in there. So be nice. It'd be nice if I could maximize that. I mean, I'm going to lose 3. If I go through my own store and try and sell them, then I might be able to get a little bit, get a little bit extra out of that too. Go down to like 3% plus shipping. So I could probably get about 80% of that out of 80 to 85% probably out of there, depending on how I completely empty out my shelves. TCG Player is still the fastest though. Local sales has been fairly good as well. Small amounts. The botters leave. That's the sign of the bear market. It is. It would be a very big sign. When we start losing the flippers and the botters, then we're definitely going to be in. You'll know you're in a bear market at that point in time. James, this channel is great. Andy is honest and provides great info. It's friendly environment here and a good community, great feedback, and awesome knowledge. Well, thank you so much for that, James from Alamo City. Greatly appreciated for you to say so. Piker Mike, gotta be lucky to unload all at once. Yeah, it's almost impossible. You're going to be breaking it up, and that's what I've been doing slowly over the last few months. Is just slowly breaking it out, nice and slow. You don't want to dump a ton because then you get people trying to lowball it or drops the market. So you got to be a little cautious on it. I don't have a ton to the point where I could actually cause a market drop, but it's definitely if you list them all at once, it's definitely going to throw up some red flags on the market, which could stop people from buying them, or number one. Number two, they might start waiting you out to see if you'll drop the price and how serious you are about selling it. That's why making relationships with hobbies key. I already talked about that one. Horizon says, explain how you show up for an online drop early, but you're still number 300K in line. Botters, scalpers, cooking the hobby. They just care about what they destroy. Very selfish people, liars, thieves. Yeah. And that's just it. They know how to cheat the computer systems too to get in first in line. And I know that they sit there and rotate in front of you as well. It's crazy how fast they can get through there, and it's just instantaneous. I mean, they're doing it faster than you can even think. Before you click the mouse, they've already been through twice or 3 times sometimes on one of the items. So it's just insane how fast that they actually move through there. Mike says, I'm approximately 70 master sets, 30% sealed. That's not a bad combination. Master sets are cool to have. That's true, Jacob. Let's see. Black Bolt really growing on me. Zekrom, I talked about that. What's up? Already got there. Is Legend ZA worse than this market? Legend ZA, I heard, is absolute trash. I don't know. I haven't played it yet. I didn't, like I said earlier in the live on Sunday, I haven't gotten it yet. I'm still playing, like, we got Violet right now, so we're still playing Violet at this point in time. I don't even have Legends Arceus at this point, and we have Hello, my son likes Hello Pikachu, so he's got Hello Pikachu as well, so I don't think so. I don't think that it's, I haven't liked any of the Pokemon games in quite a while, to be 100% honest with you. I know that might be a hot take for some Pokemon fans out there, but even myself, I still find myself, pulling this out, and I would much rather play, to this day, I would much rather sit here and pull this game out, or Sapphire, or, Fire Red, Leaf Green, all those ones, all my ones in here. I would much rather just pull out the old Game Boy Color and get after it, or even my DS at some points. So I'm not a big fan of the current setup for the Pokemon, or for Pokemon games. But go back to 2D, man. I'm good with the 2D flat screen, and I think it was actually just a little bit more fun. A little simpler times, my friends. A little simpler times. Let's see. Getting caught back up here because my thing moved. Okay. People think, no, we already talked about that. Already passed that. Apparently, investments got that. The McDonald's Pikachu became the most graded card in history. Yeah, there's a boatload of them now. Gonna skip. We already talked about that. Horizon said, biggest win, in my opinion, is finding the secret set everyone missed, and then 3 years later, everyone says it's the best set. Yeah, that doesn't happen very often any longer, but it can happen still. I don't know what set it would be at this point in time. It'd be pretty hard to find. But trying to find a set that nobody's talking about would be very, very difficult. Most certainly, I saw going through 95. Talked about that. I'm just working through market scrapers here. A 60% gem rate in the Scarlet and Violet era was considered horrible. I know, right? I have a Zard UPC promos in PSA 10 and have 17% gem rate, and that's pretty good. I mean, them cards are hard to get because of the way that they were packaged. So if you got those in 10s, great, fantastic job on that one for sure. Especially if you graded them yourself. I've looked at them. I've pulled 2 of my Zard boxes, and the hollows already have scuffs on them just from shipping. So it's not easy to do. It's not easy to find them in good condition because they put all 3 cards on top of each other, and that caused wear and marks right from the beginning. Let's see. We're going down here, going through this. Going through the market scraper. TPCI has to put distribution in timeout. They don't need to put... Yeah, well, they need to give product to the right distribution. They need to put MJ Holding in timeout. They need to stop sending stuff to Costco and Sam's Club and get it to the main distribution centers so that we can get product back to the main stores. I mean, that's the bigger issue we're having right now. Air tags, already got through that. Air tags are so scary. They are. I hate the things. They 100%. Yeah, they should have. I 100% agree. I mean, you made a corporate change for me. Oh, sorry. Yeah, he said I read that wrong. He said that they have put distro in time, and they have. They've shifted it mainly to the big box stores, which, I mean, it sucks, but what do? We're kind of stuck with whatever they give us at this point in time. Horizon says, Ludwig Pig says, botters have some ways around queue system, sadly. They do. It seems like somehow they're in the code, and you know that they're rotating in front of you. So they're constantly ordering in front of you, and there's not much you can do about it, sadly. I wish there was a way that they could figure out a way to stop botters, but I don't think at this point in time they're even caring. They're just doing what they do. And when botters go away, you know the market's going into a bear market at that point in time. I think that's going to be when scalpers and flippers and botters are gone and moved on to something else, then that's definitely when you know that you've gone, that the market's changed. Horizon says, no good deed goes unpunished. The vendors should have rewarded you. Like I said, I didn't expect a reward. I was just more concerned about their safety when I was talking to her because I know the guy that she was dealing with, and he's an ass, an absolute ass. He started a fist fight. He's banned from like 3 of the Walmarts because he actually gets in fist fights with people for like baseball cards even. He had a big fist fight in Ladysmith with him and another guy. The one guy just tried to go. He was like pulling everything off the shelf that he wanted. And a guy tried to like get 1 or 2 boxes off the top shelf that he wanted, and he literally decked the guy because he reached over and grabbed them. So I mean that guy is not a safe person to be around, and there is no reason to have that kind of individual in this hobby, in my opinion, in any hobby. But the fact that he did do that in 2021, where he was putting air tags on the vendor, the previous vendor found it because he had a personal iPhone and he caught it on his. That's how I even knew about them doing that, was from that first guy. And that was then 3 years later, I gave it to the other woman, and then she actually moved forward with it and told everybody, because it's a lot of women. I mean, granted, I'm not saying women are weaker or stronger. I'm not trying to get into that philosophical debate. But the fact is that when there's a guy that's like 350 pounds and willing to fight people for product, having him following women around all over the country to try and get to stores first is just not a safe situation. And plus, he knows where they live then. So literally, he's able to track them right to their houses because their cars they use to come to drop stuff off and fill the stores is the same car that they take home. So basically, he's tracking them everywhere they go. Let's see here. I've been playing it. It isn't bad. The tutorial is a bit slow, but I'm still having fun. Well, that's good. I'm having so much fun with ZA, and it might be. Like I said, I haven't played it yet, and I'm not going to judge, but I haven't liked any of the newer Pokemon sets, so it's not going to be much different than any of them, I don't think. They haven't really changed any of the mechanics for a long period of time. They run the mechanics for so long that they don't change anything. So I really don't have interest. I don't really play Violet all that much. My son plays it. My kids play Violet all the time, and they play Hello Pikachu all the time. I think it's Hello Pikachu because there's Hello Eevee, Hello Pikachu. There's two of them. They went with Pikachu. But I'm just not into the newer games. I'll crack out my Game Boy or I'll do an emulator and I'll play an emulator on the computer rather than going on and doing the newer Pokemon sets. I'm just old school. It is what it is. I'm okay with it. I don't like 3D Mario. I still like 2D Mario. It was simpler times, my friends. It was just simple to just not have to worry about 3D world space, 3D spaces. I gotta deal with that enough in my life. I don't want to deal with it on my video games when it comes down to Pokemon or Mario or even going in Zelda or any of those as well. So just me being my brain being my brain. Going through, making sure, trying to get up with it because we're on overtime right now, and I'm glad that we can keep going. It's actually been a great conversation. I thank you guys, everybody. Hit that like button. We still have 22 people, 23 people, and only 14 likes. So take a moment, kick out, hit that like button, help out the stream, or do it before you leave. Make sure you really crank that up. Let's see if we get the likes going on this. Trying to keep it moving along and trying to keep growing. I'm trying to be consistent, be on here. We have had actually not too many people on the live tonight, which is actually kind of interesting. Typically, when we have a discussion like this where we have so many chats and so many things going, usually we have like 100 views, and so far we've had 67 views, but a long average view duration. So you guys have been on here for an average of 24 minutes on an hour-long stream. So that's pretty darn good. That's a really, really long time. So thank you guys for the retention side of things and being here tonight. Greatly appreciate it. We're just going through. Let's see here. I love the Zekrom Reshiram art. Alt arts gives me Silver Tempest alt art vibes. I agree with that. At least the Zekrom does. Reshiram's kind of washy, kind of washed out comparatively. Zekrom's very has a big contrast to it. Really stands out. I like the Zekrom artwork. Horizon. I downloaded an app that shows where you are in line on Pokemon Center, and always a good laugh to watch my line position increase. I guess digital line skippers are real shameless. Yeah, it's pretty common. The botters skip. They jump right ahead. So when you're sitting in Pokemon Center, that's why I've kind of even given up on almost all of the online buying any longer, is because I have an app as well that sits there and tells me the queue lines, and I'm sitting here watching my position go back. More and more people are going in front of me. My queue position's getting bigger while I'm sitting there, and it's like, how is this happening? And like you said, the botters know how to jump, so they're just continually skipping ahead into the line and buying what they want. So let's see here. We've got going through. I'm trying to make sure I get as many comments as I can here before we call it an evening. I'm even just playing on my Switch. I said, okay, went through that. Legends ZA is actually a fun game, pass along tutorial. Your kids will love it, I believe. And we might get it. None of them have really asked for it yet at this point in time. Jacob brought it up, but he really hasn't asked yet. So I'm not against buying it. I'm not saying that I won't buy it at some point in time, but personally, I haven't really played any of the newer games, so it's just not something I'm really jumping at. But yeah, I'm sure that we'll get it. It'll be a matter of time, but we'll have it here eventually, and then we'll get a good run through on it. Plus, I kind of like waiting anyways because they get all the bugs and the glitches out of it after a little bit of time also. So that's the other part. I kind of like waiting on some of those video games because there is some time. Now, if it's a Halo game, I'm not gonna wait. I'm gonna buy it the day it comes out. I'll take off work for 3 days and I will just binge play Halo until all hours of the day. just because I'm a Halo freak and have been forever, and it's just my childhood and my college years. So it's just something I like to. Me and my friends all get it at the same time. And we just hammer it out. We'll just start playing for days. Scum of the hobby. Need that. Getting banned from Walmart is actually an achievement. Yeah, it's a pretty good achievement. If you get banned from Walmart, I didn't know that was actually possible. But yeah, no, he's literally banned from the store. He can't come in to 3 of the stores right now. Now, he can't come to Ladysmith. He can't come to Hayward. And I think he got banned now from Rice Lake. So he's my 3 local stores he's been absolutely banned from. Just going through Ludwig Pig. It's at least it's the least amount of bugs and glitches I've seen since the Game Boy N64 days. They actually took their time with this time around. Well, that's impressive. Halo needs some love. We need to get Bungie back into Halo. The storyline of Halo is just junk. The campaign is junk. We need to get Bungie back into here and say, here, Bungie, please fix this. 343 has literally effed this up so bad that they've cooked it. Please, Bungie, fix this. Make a Halo Reach again. Do something like Halo Reach. Give us a storyline that we can get into, man. Give us an online play like we used to have. Come on. What's happening here, guys? We need to get Bungie back. That's what I'm gonna say. Poor Halo got cooked when Bungie left. Yes, it did. Horizon, I went to several Sams for the last prismatic drop, and one in particular was saying only 2 purchases per account. Customers were verbally fighting the staff. I had to get out of there. High tension. Yes. My Sam's Club, the manager actually just got fired last week, my local one, because finally enough people complained, and they looked at the camera of him loading the whole pallet into his buddy's truck in the back warehouse. So, yeah, they actually just canned him at his store because it was 2 per customer. They never even hit the floor. He rolled him into his buddy's truck and got him out of there. So they were never even on the floor. Unfortunately, a lot of people suck. Yeah, it is. I mean, a lot of times it's just morals in the hobby. A lot of times it's just people just being dirty. And it's like, just be a nice person. That was happening with Seeing Skyboxes last year. That's crazy. Yeah. I know a lot of people said it was happening with Seeing Sky as well. I didn't know if they did. They had them at our store, so I don't think they did it as much on those at our Sam's Club. But yeah, I mean, I know he did it with the prismatic booster with the ETBs. He slid them right into his buddy's truck. There's a lot of backdoor deals. Even GameStops. A lot of GameStops are backdoor dealing it as well. They'll hold stuff in the back until their friends come, and they will give it to each one of their buddies. And so there's a lot of things going on right now. A lot of stuff backdoor, but it is what it is. Guys, it can only last so long. It's only a matter of time until the whole system falls apart. You know, it can only go so long until eventually the greedy start turning on the greedy, and it's just going to happen. I mean, that's facts. The greedy will turn into greedy, and then the market will collapse. I don't know how far it'll collapse. I don't know if it'll be major, but something's going to shift. It's just waiting for it to happen at this point in time. So, all right, guys, it has been an hour and 20 minutes. So, as always, greatly appreciated for everybody that's joined in this evening. It's always a pleasure to have you guys in here. We will be live again next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Central Time as well. One last quick thing here. My local GameStop is doing it. I called corporate on them and got a Blooming Waters box held for me. LOL. And that's what I've heard them sometimes doing as well, is that they'll just hold you a product if you turn them in. But realistically, they're not going to stop. They're not going to fire the store managers. They can't get help as it is at GameStop. And so nothing's going to change. It just is what it is. You're just going to have to deal with it at this point in time. So we'll just keep fighting a good fight. Like I said, market is just kind of stagnating a little bit. Phantasmal Flames, I think, is going to be the linchpin for the overall market. How it performs is going to tell us how, the overall market's going to be in just a little bit. So I think we're going to be waiting for Phantasmal Flames this holiday season to see what happens in the market, if it's going to hold up or what's going to change, if anything's going to change with the print rates of the Pokemon TCG. So otherwise, guys, thank you everybody for joining. Greatly appreciate for having you in here. And I thought I saw a comment that I don't see on the one screen here, so I'm a little bit confused because I was actually gonna talk about it, and I don't know if my screen jumped. I saw someone talk about Team Rocket Joey. I was gonna talk about, oh yeah, Team Rocket Joey's comments have been wild lately. Yeah, that was in here too. Oh, there he is. Team Rocket Joey, welcome on in. Thank you so much for joining us. No offense, Team Rocket. Yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of the devil, there he pops up. A little head pops up in the chat. No, I was just gonna bring that up. LOL. Perfect timing. But no, I was just gonna say his chats have been kind of wild. Your comments on your videos, Joey, have been kind of wild, man. Comments have been good, but the chats have been even wilder over there. So the comments and stuff that are coming out have been pretty wild. So, but thank you so much, Team Rocket Joey, for stopping in as well. Make sure you hit the like button, guys. We got 20 people in here as we're about to head out for the evening. It's greatly appreciated that everybody's joined in. That timing was absolutely great. Right as I'm looking for the comment, I'm like, God darn, I know there was a comment about it, and all of a sudden I look as I'm reading it, and he pops up in the chat like, wow. I think he was listening. Team Rocket Joey must have been hiding in the background the whole time, waiting for it. People are angry. They are. Your comments, boy, your own comment group there is like turning on. So it's like watching piranhas like kill each other down there right now. And you, they some of them want your blood, man. Don't put your fingers in the bowl. They'll take them right off. So, otherwise, like I said, thank you guys. Thank you, Team Rocket Joey, for dropping in as well. Make sure you guys hit the like button before you leave. Hit that subscribe if you're new here, cannibals. They hate to see me make moves. Yeah, that is the truth. Once again, thank you guys, everybody, for joining in. Greatly appreciated for all of you. Make sure you hit the subscribe if you're new here. Hit that like if you can before you leave. And last but not least, hit that notify so you know when we're live here and doing things on Northwoods TCG. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. And have a good week. We will be live, rip and ship, of course, Friday night or 8 p.m. Central Time and Sunday at 8 p.m. Central Time here on Northwoods TCG.